Welcome to all of you astrology friends. Welcome to this video about the monthly horoscope of September of 2023. First in general, very shortly and as concise as I can, what this month is all about, and then looking at the 12 signs of the areas of your life that are going to be highlighted during this month. So let's get started. There are a couple of things that I want to discuss. First of all, the Venus that is going direct finally around and about the 5th of September at 12 degrees of Leo. I've been talking a lot about this Venus retrograde because it's a very exciting one, to say the least, with the square to Uranus. How are you doing, folks, with this Venus square Uranus? I want to know your experiences about this Venus square Uranus, because lately we had because of the retrograde, another Venus square Uranus going on a couple of days ago, and how you experienced that. It's really interesting to whether it's going to be total chaos, or out of that chaos comes new excitement and new possibilities for life, to do things in a completely different way and to value things in a completely different way, because that's the liberation of this Venus square Uranus. So we're going to have a look at where this is happening for you now that it goes direct. The energy is there to do to implement it, basically, what you've been pondering about. And the second thing I want to look at is the Mars, because Mars is in Libra for the whole month. And we're going to have a look at where this Mars is transiting, because it does, not exactly, but it does go towards a sextile to this Venus. So there is, you could say, a more balance between the give and the take in life. And then, which is also pretty important, is the Mercury that goes direct again on my birthday. And no, I'm not saying that to wish you that you wish me all a happy birthday. Not at all. So on the 16th of September, there is the Mercury going direct. Isn't that a wonderful thing to have that? Because it means inside again. Also, these retrogrades. So we have two retrogrades been going on for a while, that now in September, all these personal planets who went retrograde are going direct, which means insides, which means in this way, with Mercury in Virgo at 8 degrees of Virgo on the 16th, it means insights in a very grounded, analytical, truthful kind of way, because Virgo wants to know the truth and nothing but the truth. So whether we like it or not, truths are going to reveal itself. And last but not least, I want to have a look at the grand Earth trine. We're going to have a grand Earth trine. What is that? That means that we have three, I hope I pronounce it well now, three trines. We're having three trines. It looks like I'm on whatever it is that I'm on. Anyway, so three trines is between Pluto in Capricorn, and it's trining Uranus in Taurus, yes, and it's also trining the Sun as from the 16th. We are going to have all that energy. The Sun in Virgo at 22 degrees. When it's at 22 degrees, the Sun, that is, in Virgo, it's going to start making that grand trine for like the rest of the month. So this is, what it means is, when we have a grand Earth trine, we're going to have that everywhere in our chart. And I know I love to talk about our challenges, because I strongly believe that it's from our challenges that when we can transform them, it gives us strength and it lifts us up and we get an upgrade. But sometimes it's interesting, and it can be a very much soothing energy coming our way as well, and that we know about it. And that is with that grand trine. It gives us stability, it gives us down to earthness, and it also gives us prosperity in the physical realm. So to achieve and to manifest, whether it is money, whether it is whatever it is, you can manifest it easier. So I'm going to look at that as well. A lot to look at, so let's get started. Let's get started with Aries. Of course, Aries, on the 29th of the month, so at the very end of the month, you're going to have your full moon at 6 degrees of Aries. So whoever's got planets there, there is like a revelation coming up. There is like you really having normally already, but even more, your heart on the sleeve, on your sleeve. Is that the expression? Very expressive indeed, and very much about this is my needs, but also being able to look at what another person needs in your life. Now, let's start with this Venus direct. This Venus direct on the around at about the 5th of September is in your 5th house. I mean, this is lovely. This is lovely for the Aries people, this Venus retrograde, because it's about love. It's about the heart chakra. And whether it is love for a child or making love to have a child, or just enjoying yourself, which is also the 5th house, or investing in some projects that you want to do, and really do to express your own uniqueness and to be that unique self, and which is so attractive to in your life attract people who really are vibrating at the same energy. You are attracting people in your life that are about to stay now, because this Venus direct is showing that you are now the value that you have shifted around love. You know, there is a Venus retrograde in the 5th. Is it doesn't matter if you have a relationship or not. There's something, the core is that your attitude around love has changed. And now you're going to implement it. And now you're fully grounding this with this grand trine as well to express this. So it may be the value that you had before around these topics have changed. So it may have been that you always valued for instance, people who value you. And maybe you're not going to do that so much anymore. Or you always valued people who had a lot of money. And now you're saying, nah, I have a lot of money myself. Is that important? You know, these kind of things. Or the other way around. Maybe you're saying, oh, I'm always in poverty. I'm always seen to be in poverty. I'm going to value a little bit more the realm of money, for instance, and I'm going to hustle for the money. I talk here a lot about money. Why is that? Because this grand trine is happening in the money houses. You're having this grand trine, not only where the sun in Virgo will be, but also the Mercury direct in your 6th house of day-to-day life. So there's something about your day-to-day life that is really, really having an opportunity to go forwards. It trines your 2nd house of money. It trines your 10th house of career. So definitely there could be, with this Mercury direct on the 16th, you could have a new job, for instance, or a new routine, or a new way, a new attitude towards your day-to-day life. Maybe you are not working, but you just want to have a higher value because of the changes you made initially of that Venus retrograde. Remember that expression from the heart, and it has this knock-on effect. So definitely for Aries people who want more money, this is a great month for you. Of course, it depends on what you've done in the past, as always, but definitely good energy for that, and also for investments. It's a very relational month because there is also Mars in the 7th house, and it's sextiling that Venus almost, not exactly, but almost. So it means that relationships, whether you are in one or not, are very fiery. You know, it's very sexy to have Mars in the 7th house. Whew, and with Venus in the 5th, that can be some firework going on there. And a really good one. So make the best of it. If you are not having a relationship, this could really mean like a new one, or an existing one is really showing itself now, and you go forwards with it because you've been pondering and being reflecting of it. But it can also mean that you start this new relationship, and it's definitely on a fiery level, and you will attract people who are quite martial, you know, fiery, feisty. And even if you're a man and you're watching this, the Mars in the 7th house shows a woman that knows what she wants, and that is quite in her power, standing in her power, and but also in a feminine way because it's in Libra. So very, very nice energy for Aries. Again, this Venus retrograde has been working well for you, for most Aries people, because it's a fellow fire sign. Taurians, this Venus direct is now in your 4th house. So finally, you can implement, as from the 5th and onwards, a new way of how you value your safety, your emotional safety. There's no one else that can give it to you. They might give it to you, but it's not going to be satisfying anymore, because it's not supposed to come from others, especially when you're an adult. Of course, if you're a child, but when you're an adult, the safety needs to come from within. Because I say need, because otherwise you become needy and you become someone who's never satisfied on an emotional level. And you're understanding that you are the only person who can give you emotional security, and this is so a wake-up call, such a wake-up call, that you've got this beautiful you're an earth sign, so you are really, really what's really positive for you is this big grand earth trine, and it's on a spiritual level. It's on the level of how you express yourself and how you see the world, because Taurians are known for people that are a bit stubborn there, but they're supposed to be like that. It's typical of the Taurian. But with this energy, because of your ruler is Venus, so you went through all of this, so you are someone who really felt this Venus retrograde. And for a lot of Taurians, it's not easy, because Taurians, as I said, they are the rocks of the zodiac, and they are here to give society, people, the planet, if you like, stability. They are here for that. That's one of their purposes. But sometimes we need to change. We need to change the values. And with Venus going backwards and now forwards again, you will feel that you have changed a lot. And it's from within. And you will see it from without as well. Then things will start to fall apart, because you see yourself differently. And if you give yourself something that otherwise you were needy and dependent of getting it from others, you definitely go up a level and you feel stronger than ever. And the ones that need to stay will stay. I mean, who are important for the rest of your life, so to speak, or maybe the future, I mean. And those who not, they will either it will fade away, but with this Venus square Uranus, it will be just blocked off. And, cut cords is very much what I see happening with people who've got strong Taurus energy, because it has to, for their own sake. And it's a window, of course, of opportunity. If you're not ready for that, you're not ready for that. But then it will come back, and even in a bigger way. But anyway, that's everyone's course. Now, you have that support of that grand earth trine, and the support comes from yourself. And it comes from your state of mind and your perspective in life, with this beautiful grand trine from the 9th, the 5th, and the 1st house, which is the houses of the spirit, the houses of feeling connected to something that is bigger than you. And Mars is in your 6th house, so you also are quite busy during this month. Quite a busyness that I see here, and with a lot of work and a lot of fixing problems here and there. And but it's that time of the year where, or 2 years, because Mars is there every 2 years, to fix those problems. So if you have some problems, whether it is on the house or in business or the work that you do, it's a tremendous good energy to have fixed problems, a lot of them, right? So you did the hard work, but it's not all over yet. So there's still, up until like the first week, second week of October, there's still this quite of energy of of change going on. It's not all over yet, but now you are more knowing what you want and where you want to go. So it's up until like the second week of October when this Venus is out of it, which is you, your planet, is out of its shadow and it's away from Uranus. Then you will see, and things will calm down. So it's not all over yet, but there's still a lot more traction now, and you will feel better because of that. Gemini's, this Venus retrograde was quite enjoyable for you because it's in Leo, and that goes so well with, it goes well with Gemini. It's lighthearted and it's in your third house. So it goes direct now. It's a very good time for you after the 5th of September to do a new study, not a new or maybe an old study, but now to implement something like a study or travel or a new website, everything that has to do with communication. You can now blast forward and enjoy the most of it. Sextiling with Mars in your 5th house of self-expression. Wow, this is fun. This could be a new romance as well, or if you have been, if you had like your values and you were looking at your values, now you can implement the new attitude you have around love, because Venus in the third house is a mind energy. So you've been thinking, love has been on your mind for sure. And you've been thinking about how to express that in a more fun way. So Mars in the 5th house is very, it's sexual, it's enjoyable, it's just have fun, do the things that you love to do, express yourself in that way. And the support, that ground trine, is in the houses of emotions. So it's like on an emotional level, you're very grounded. You have this opportunity from the 4th house, where the Mercury goes direct, so where your thoughts and so on in your plans, and whether it is literally around your home, or if it's not in that physical way, it's more your emotions. But this goes well with the 12th and the 8th house, which are the houses of deep emotions, vulnerabilities, but also the 8th house, money that we share with others. So great for investments, great to, especially investing in real estate or doing things around that is super, super positive for you. But if you've been feeling like emotionally a little bit more withdrawn, and because of this Mercury in your retrograde in your 4th house, and thinking about the past, thinking about your roots, your family, where you're coming from, you might have visited your home country when you live in another country. All these things from the past, you can now implement them in a healing way with the emotions, and an emotional healing is for every person, also a Gemini, very, very strongly welcomed, so to speak. Cancerians, this Venus retrograde was very much on a level of your confidence. So with Venus in the 2nd house, literally of money. So you can be, as from now, as from the 5th of September and onwards, really attract a lot more money towards you, and a lot more when it's not about that. If you say in Veerle, where is the money? I can't see it. It's a lot about your confidence. It's a lot about this boost in confidence. This, yes, self-confidence comes from the self. I've been saying that to Cancerians for a long while now, and I'm repeating it again. The true confidence, I mean, not the one that is blowed over and that is too much, and also not the one that is like this, but true healthy confidence comes from within. And it doesn't come from another person saying that you look great, or another person that says, well done to you. That is fine. Don't get me wrong here. That is fine. That is good for the ego. But what Cancerians have been learning lately with this Venus retrograde is that when it comes from within, when you can say to yourself, yeah, I'm good enough, no matter what, I'm good enough, and I'm going to make the best of it. And I'm just going to make an upgrade in my life. And I'm just going to raise the bar. And very often, it's choosing for the hardest way. It's choosing for the road that is not the easiest road. And when you get that, dear Cancerians, your social life will blossom. And that is because this beautiful Earth trine that I was talking about is in your social houses. So it's in the third house where the Mercury goes backwards and forward. So the third house is the house of communication. It's also the house of your PR. So you could be doing changes around website. You could be doing short trips to places that you already have been. And you could also communicate something different or a new attitude around siblings, around people in the neighborhood. That's all those third house people. And this is making a beautiful trine to your 7th and 11th house, which is your people, which is people that who are in your social circle, but also when you are in a romantic relationship, it's like everything now goes up and is lifted in a very, very real way. So it's you feel it. Earth is about the planet Earth, right? It's about things that are tangible, that you can feel. And there's a lot of balance there for the long run. And that gives you automatically also security and a sense of security. So it's almost as, because you've learned not to be so dependent, not to be so codependent. Cancerians have a tendency to become codependent. So when they need to feel that they are needed, but that is a fall, you could say. That is a pitfall, because you can make codependency, and that can make relationships a bit toxic there. And when they feel that, okay, I don't have to do it, I just do it because I want to do it, and I don't want anything in return, that all these energies start flowing better. And the same with other people towards you. So there's definitely very beautiful energy for you available, dependent, of course, of what you've been doing before this Venus square Uranus. And it's about what you need and what you value, what is important for you, and you make the choice. Venus in the 2nd house. You make the choice how your life is going to be. You make the choice. The people that you attract in your life and that you want in your life, you make the choice. And it's being very much accountable for yourself and taking that responsibility. Beautiful energy. Leos, wow, this has been very important for you with this Venus retrograde in your 1st house. So how are you dealing with this? How are you doing? Around the 5th of September, this Venus is going direct. And finally now, yes, you feel like, okay, if you wanted to do some changes on your looks or your garderobe, maybe a totally new set of clothes or whatever, or a new haircut, or it's now the time to do it. With the Venus going direct, you're not going to regret it. And yes, you will feel a little bit of a butterfly there, because Venus going direct in your 1st house is you attracting people towards you just because you are being you. So when you are being you, I know it's so easier said than done, isn't it? But when you just shine and you don't care if other people can deal with it or not, you're going to attract the people that are going to be very good for you because they match your vibration. And because Mars is in the 3rd house in Libra during the whole month, this is going to be a rather busy month. There could be some trips that you're doing or a trip that you're doing. There could be a lot of communicating and a lot of emails and phone calls and whatnot, a lot of busyness that you can expect. For people who've got their own businesses, it could mean that you work on a website or that you work on the PR, and it's like because you have done you could say changes around yourself, not only in your looks but how you profile yourself, and that kind of expresses itself in a new way of communicating as well. Now, the beautiful Earth trine for you is really in the physical world, and really for a lot of you will be around money. So because it's Mercury going backwards and forwards in your 2nd house, This is really that hustling for the money or improving your financial situation. It's definitely on. It's definitely possible. Asking for a promotion. These are the moments where you can ask that. So after the 16th, and you feel that you earn it, go for it. Because the trine happens in the 2nd, the 10th house where Uranus is, and the 6th house where Pluto is. So a lot of flow and good flow and the self-esteem. It's like you feel alive again, with this Venus retrograde in your sign. It has been a lot about, what do I love about myself? What don't I love about myself? And taking accountability, how to change that. Whether it is a simple thing like your looks and you want to lose a couple of kilos or whatever, or it is a trait that you have in your character that you don't like and that you want to change. Here are all like the proofs that you are going to do that. And so, wow, this is really Leo time, and it's really time to shine here, dear Leos. It really is. It's really all the light is on you now, and enjoy it. Don't hide. Virgos, of course, the Virgos are going to have their new moon on the 15th. There's going to be a new moon in Virgo at 21 degrees of Virgo. So for a lot of you, this is going to be a feeling for all the Virgos, but for a lot of you, a feeling of a newness, a feeling of a new beginning, right? It is your birthday month. Happy birthday to you, dear fellow Virgos out there. But you start, of course, with this, although a lot has been going on in your sign, and still we have to start with this Venus retrograde in your 12th house. So we have to start with this energy that feelings should be kept a little bit more private there. And I say should. I'm not here to judge at all, but it is possible. There are some scenarios here. Venus in the 12th house, it's possible that you needed to, for some reason, whatever it is, you needed to hide a little bit for your own best, to hide your emotions and feelings for a specific person. It could be like that. And now that, when we proceed in time, it will not last forever, by the way. This is just a temporary thing. But now, because of Venus goes direct, you kind of see and understands more these energies, the unconscious, and where it all came from. And your viewpoint around love and self-love and love for others, and not like Virgos have a tendency, I know they don't like to hear that, but I'm going to say it anyway, that they're a bit sacrificial, especially for the people that they love, right? And this could mean that sometimes you have to, that when you're doing that, you have no boundaries there, especially with the Venus in the 12th house. You could be giving yourself away too much, and because it's in the 12th house, it's a kind of a protection there. So that's not a bad thing at all. There could be, on another level, it could be like you feeling that you have to make a lot of sacrifices, maybe because of the situation. Maybe you just given birth to a child, and there's not much of a social life that you have. That's Venus in the 12th. At its best, you can just make sure that you have some alone time and that you can reload your batteries. And but definitely you can have also, in a good way, Venus in the 12th house is the secrecy of it, the privacy of it, that you with a lover, you go to a very far away country and you're in the best, most enjoyable atmosphere and having a great time. And so there are many ways, but when I look at the whole of it, at the whole energy of the month, there is a revival going on for sure for you, because of Mars recently in August is in Virgo. So you have been standing up for yourself. You have been, and it's a strange combination to have that Venus in 12th and then Mars in the 1st. It's a strange combination because on the one hand, you know that you can't force love, you can't force people, you can't control people, but at the same time, you must stand up for yourself. So it's a very important vibration in August that you are starting from, turning into September, where you still can implement through your mind and through who you are, because Mercury goes direct on the 16th. So it shows like, hey, this is who I am. You speak your truth. And Virgos are so good with speech, right? They are so good with pointing towards the root of the matter and what it really is about, and making no mistake around it. And it's really a very spirited energy, because this grand trine for you is in the fire houses of the 5th house and the 9th house, with all that energy. So you're having a boost of showing who you are, but in a very Virgo kind of way, which is no messing around with Virgos, right? They see every single detail. The devil is in the detail, and Virgos know that so well. They are going to see problems because of that, because they have like this eye for problems, and but they are seeing it, and they are understanding and communicating now their perspective, their heart as well, because of Pluto in the 5th house trining this Mercury. So your speech is going to be so powerful, whether you do literally a speech for a company, and you have, something that you want to inspire. Wow, people are really going to do what you're saying. But using this in a way of, you don't really have the intention to persuade them. You just are it with this energy. So, and that is super attractive and magnetic, basically. So whatever you want to say it. And when the intention is pure, you can really, really show truly who you are. And because of that, you're going to attract the right people. You're going to attract the people that vibrate on your vibration. And so really, really do the work before the 16th on thinking about who you are and what is the woman or who is the man that you want to be. And then speak your truth as from the 16th and onwards. What an energy. Mars in your 2nd house, because of that, the confidence boosts. And that could be really a boost of you earning money, but also you feeling more hope and feeling more assertive when it comes to, hey, this is who I am and I'm feeling confident. So don't let that Venus in the 12th house, because again, that no having control over other people, don't let that bring you down. Actually use it to transform, because of this Pluto trine to your ruler Mercury. That is transformation. That is like a huge thing that is dark, which is Venus in the 12th. You transform it into something that you're even better off before. So well done there. Librans, this is a beautiful Venus retrograde for you, because it's sextiling your energy. It's in your 11th house. I've been talking about this for quite a while. And Mars in your 1st house. Wow, this is lively. This is very active energy. This is you doing new beginnings with Mars for the whole month in your 1st house. This is amazing energy. And you've got also now understood your own goals, or reassessed your own goals, reassessed your friends. Maybe you have made new friends and cutting out other friends that were not good for you, and you were not good for them, where there was like some sort of the value is not good there, or even social media that you've been cutting off, or the other way around, being more connected with new things on the social media. This is all this Venus in the 11th house. New goals, new dreams, and you are Venus. So you are like the Taurians, right? You had quite, and it's not done yet, but the time now is so crucial for you to, if you want to, of course, because we have free will, but if you want to make changes in your life, it's super, super interesting now and exciting. Because don't forget, there will be another Venus square Uranus later on. That will be in October, the last one. Is that? Oh my goodness! I think I am right, but I just want to bear with me. Bear with me. No, I'm not doing this to. Where is this? The Venus. People ask me about this book, where I get it. Well, it's not a book. It's where I put in my notes. And yes, the Venus retrograde, it's at the very end of September. Yes, the 30th, 29th, 30th, 1st of October, you're going to have that last square. So you're not done yet in September with these changes of value, although from the 5th of September, you feel like you're going forwards now with your plans. But it's still the whole month that you feel that vibe of, I need to make changes. I need to make changes in my life that are more to liberate myself a little bit more. You know, I've been talking about that people pleaser that is so typical of the Librans. And with your Mars in the first house, you're not going to be people pleasing at all, dear Librans. So, so the ones that are, how do they call them? Cross-watching? Wow, you were... Yes, you are warned here that Librans can become here a little bit more assertive. Let's put it that way. Not arrogant. Never, never, ever. And now, of course, I'm going to attract here now comments that will say, oh, but I know a Libran. But normally, I mean, typically, Librans are not the most arrogant people. But again, with the Mars now in your first house, and if someone has been suppressing you, has been doing this, it's not going to work anymore. And that is good for you, Librans. It's time to stand up for yourself and to do that with your actions. And even no, saying no is one of the biggest actions that you can take. The Grand Trine is in the water houses. So that means that you're emotionally stable. How cool is that? Because the Mercury goes backwards and forwards in your 12th house. So there are things that, so it goes direct on the 16th. So things will, if you've lost them before the 16th, you could find them again, you know. And Mercury, something typical Mercury is like keys and things that you've lost, basically, that has to do with documents or, you know, things around business that you've lost, keywords, passwords, all of that can come back to you when this Mercury goes direct. And you might have felt a little bit lost in the mind and not so focused. This is going to improve with the Mercury going direct. And as I said, dreams will definitely speak to you. So put a notebook next to your bed and write those dreams down, because they can give you a healing kind of energy. Meditating as well. This trine to your 8th house and your 4th house, which is your core, with this Pluto in your 4th house, can give you a lot of emotional stability, a lot of, I feel, yeah, I don't know where it comes from, you know, other realms or this realm, but I feel protected. And it comes actually not only from other realms, it comes from within. And that is so powerful. Scorpios, this Venus retrograde was very important. Everything that has to do with your work and career. And let's start for those who don't have a career or are not working. This 10th house is how you present yourself. It's, as I say many times, it is a second ascendant. It is also how you want to be seen by the world, the energy that you put out here. And the energy is contagious. When that 10th house there, people see it, people feel it. And even if your purpose, if you say, but Veerle, I don't have any purpose, I just try to be a good mom or this and that, well, that's it. You know, you are a piece of the whole, and every single thing that you do is as important, because every soul is a soul. We are just different in form. And but there is a possibility now, when Venus goes direct, that you feel that you are going forwards in the way that you present yourself to the world. Your connection with a parent could now also, you might have reassessed a parent. There were things that might have gone wrong or difficult. There is possibility for reconciliation if that was the fact with Venus going direct. Venus direct, of course, for a lot of you, will mean support when it comes to your work and career. You could be having a new career, you could be having a promotion, or a Venusian energy, a very kind, charming, whether it is male or female, that got your back when it comes to your work and help you with achieving your career. The Grand Earth trine is on a social level. So you are going to be a social butterfly. I know Scorpios are really a bit more normally a bit more introvert, and but now you are really going to enjoy, because of the beautiful Earth trine, your connections with friends, your connections with other people, all kind of other people, friends, because this Mercury goes direct in your 11th house. It could have been even before the retrograde a change in one of your connections with a friend, for better or for worse. There could be a shift. A friend becomes more than a friend, or you said to yourself, that friend, because of circumstances, you value them in a different way now because of the retrograde. Again, for better or for worse. But it has that very positive effect with Uranus in the 7th house, that excitement that you feel around people and that freshness. It's so lovely when you feel that. You feel freshness around you when you connect with other people. You feel uplifted, and the trine to Pluto in the 3rd house is being uplifted because of the mind, because of the conversations that you're having, the deep conversations with this Mercury direct in your 11th house. So good, deep conversations that can really help you and ground you. So it's definitely support. When friends can be like, I'm thinking about now the Queen of Pentacles, in the Tarot. It's really a very grounded, nurturing energy that you offer to your friends, and the other way around. It's not like talking about things and then not doing them. It's really grounding them. You say what you are, and they say what they are, and they do what they are. So very, very nice energy. Sagittarians. This Venus retrograde is lovely, isn't it? I mean, I'm certainly enjoying it. I hope you are as well. The Venus retrograde for you was a lot more on the positive side, because you are a fellow fire sign. And Venus was in Leo, in the fire sign, in your house, in the 9th house. So it goes direct now, which is amazing, which shows that the Venus that goes direct around the 5th September can mean a couple of things. It could mean that you went to travel. You went to countries that you already visited, and now you can implement what you've learned. It could mean also love that you were assessing or reassessing, and that a trip or a voyage, I don't know how to say it in another word, a trip, yes, was doing this reassessing for you. You kind of reassessed love whilst you were on vacation, or through study. So you could have been, for those of you who are single, definitely you could have, you can start a relationship with someone from another culture or from abroad, or if they're from the same culture, it could be someone who has a different background than yours, who's totally different from you, but who's very shiny, of course, with that Venus in Leo. And because Mars is sextiling that in the 11th house, it could also be the friend house is activated there. So there could be some love stories exploring and coming to fruition there between a friend and yourself. So that could be very lovely energy and very supportive energy. It's a give and a take. And so it can be sexual, but it doesn't have to be. So if it is not sexual, it can mean that one particular friend gives you a lot of meaning, and you give them a lot of meaning around how you go into life with a different, upgraded perspective, so to speak, and doing that with a lot of optimism. And these are very optimistic future houses, the 9th house, the 11th house. Lovely energy to have Venus and Mars there at the same time. So you can be your very self, Sagittarians, and very adventurous and with the heart on the right place. You can really inspire others as well. I mean, if you have a social platform, this can go through the roof. And this can really mean that you have that message there, and you are so inspired of it that people just see it, right? And that's amazing as well. Now that Grand Earth trine is on very, very earthly houses. So it's a double whammy here. So for the Sagittarians, possibility for more money, more work, and a better work. So because the Mercury retrograde is in your 10th house after the 16th, you will see that if you've done some changes on the work side with this Mercury in your 10th house, now you will see the implementation of it going really, really fast, because it's trining Pluto in your 2nd house of money and trining this Uranus in the 6th house, which is also a work house. So for those of you who've been wanting to change something when it comes to their work, wow, good energy. And especially when you did a lot of redoing stuff and rethinking about how you're going to do it, and then you're implementing that new way of efficiency, because this Mercury is in Virgo. It's really very positive, or it could mean simply for a lot of people a new job as well. So, or a promotion, really interesting as well. Capricorns, this is happening in your 8th house, the Venus direct. What an intense Venus retrograde this was for you. Wow, the Venus in the 8th house, it's a bit like Venus in Scorpio, so intense. Your love life must have been a bit more intense than usual. And also, again, possible on different levels. When you are in a relationship, it's really like this focus on trust, focus on intimacy. And I mean, you know, seeing everything, not only you naked, but I mean on a level of emotions, on a level of your psyche. It's definitely an opportunity to become more intimate with someone, whether you are in a relationship or not. You know, if you're single, it's definitely a good possibility here with this Venus going direct now on the 5th of September. Possibility to be really open with someone and that you trust. So make sure that you made the good, how do you say that, reflections there. Mercury is in your 9th house of the higher mind, so that is a good sign, and it is also in Virgo, so you are very discerned and discerning what's good and not good for you. So that is a very positive way, positive sign as well. But the Venus going direct can also mean now that when I was talking about the intimacy or in a relationship, being in a relationship, and that intimacy was not there, or there was not a possibility to be vulnerable with each other, it could also mean the end of a relationship. When Venus goes direct, and then you kind of clear out all the toxicity, and you for some of you, that's a little, that you know your story. You know, if you say, I'm going to be anxious now, no, you know your story. But for some of you, it's definitely a more truthful relationship that you have with a significant other, and that is more truthful now. And it's vulnerable though. But again, you know, when you want to experience love and when you want to experience connection and intimacy, that is it. You know, you can't do it by just putting on walls and everything. That is good to protect you, but you're going to feel isolated. So the chances are very big for you that you will have restored or reassessed or reviewed a significant relationship. When, of course, the 8th house is secrecy, so there could have been some, you know, Venus that you can't show the love for whatever reason that was. But these things also go forward now, and there is transformation going on of what you think is true love. So, and the dark side of this Venus in the 8th house is that wanting to possess, wanting to control is out of fear. It's not love. It's not love when we think like, oh, I love this person so much because I'm obsessed by this person. No, that's a Venus in the 8th house on the lowest level, you could say, which is you are run by your desires. You're not run by love. You're run by fear, and you're run by the validation that you want to have from other people. Like, look how sexy I am, or look how much money I have. Look what I can do with the tools that I have to make it happen in life. Look at me, look at me. But doing that a bit under the radar, and not in an overt way, but in a covert way, that is demanding attention. that is being dependent on the value of other people. That is not true love. So these topics might have come up, and with Venus direct, you can implement them in a positive way and see what you've learned. And of course, apply them immediately with this grand trine from the 9th to 5th in the first house. Pluto in your house, Uranus in the 5th, and Mercury in the 9th. Travel if you can. Travel if you can. It can be so good for your perspective on life. And this is very fiery energy in a very real way. Could also mean studies, or you doing you're doing a talk, or working with the social media, and you could have a lot of people seeing you because of this powerful Pluto there in your first house as well. So very spirited energy. So you will feel uplifted, and it will feel real to you, although you might not see what's going on. Aquarians, what an important Venus retrograde. Wow, this is all about relationships. Even if you're not in a relationship, this is your attitude toward relationships that has shifted. You know, when Venus goes direct on the 5th and onwards, you are shifting your connection, if you have one. I mean, a romantic connection. Or if you're not having a relationship, there could be a relationship formed here. And but it's still very exciting, because at the end of the month, you're going to have that Venus square Uranus again. So it's about values. So think a lot about what you think is very important in your life and what nurtures you from within, and how you can express that because of this Uranus in your 4th house. So a lot of emphasis on people. So if you thought like when the Venus went backwards that a relationship would not work at all, now you might see that it will work. And the other way around as well. You know your story. You know your story, but whatever it is, you want to connect with people. With Venus going direct in your 7th house shows that although you have your own issues like everyone else, and you are ready to also see how you can share your love, your energy with someone else, and how important that is for you Aquarians. Although Aquarians are sometimes known for being a bit detached there, they have Leo in the 7th house. So the way they connect is so full of heart, romance, and so on. So Mars in the 9th house, if you can, and if you have that opportunity, travel with a loved one. This is very good energy for that. Mars in your 9th house for traveling and being very active whilst you travel. Whether that is, I don't know, cycling or skiing, or it's not that time of the year, is it? Anyways, but whatever it is, being active is very much recommended when it comes to traveling. You could be also teaching or learning, or you could be also getting in touch with someone that is from abroad with this combination, or working with someone, or a business partner, from abroad. It could be appearing that as well, and giving you a lot of support, a lot of equal balanced give and take, what you love so much as an Aquarian, what your goal is supposed to be as an Aquarian as well, you know. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. It's really much an Aquarian expression, you could say. And what supports you, that grand trine that I was talking about, is on an emotional level. So you have a lot of emotional support that you give to yourself, and that is the newness with this Uranus in the 4th house. You kind of waking up towards like, yeah, I have to give my own support. I can do that. I'm an adult, but I can do that in a very healthy way, and I will attract people who are the same. So this beautiful grand trine with the Mercury going backwards and forwards in your 8th house. So you think about, this is deep. This is deep for the Aquarians. You think about life and death. You think about trust and issues around trust, to resolve them. And you're going to see your demons that you have on a mental level, because Mercury in the 8th can cause a little bit of mental anxiety and obsessions or traumas that come back. And it's to heal. It's a very healing energy, Mercury in the 8th house, because it's the planet of thinking, and it's in a sign that is very healing, which is Virgo. And you heal through understanding. So therapy, the occult, understanding psychology, astrology, all of these things that go a little bit more deeper than just a service like if you have a problem, take a pill. You can now tackle those demons, and because you understand the pattern. Wow, that is very powerful for you Aquarians. So that is where you're getting the emotional security, because you're getting it on a very grounded intellectual level, which is fantastic. Last but not least, the Pisceans. This Venus retrograde in your 6th house. So going direct around the 5th, this shows like no matter what you do now, a bit more in your day-to-day life, whether it is work, your health, or taking care of your health, taking care of work, you love it. And there is a possibility for a promotion. There is a possibility, the timing, do it if you can, of course. I mean, life is life, but that's a song, isn't it? Life is life. Anyway, but Venus going direct there can definitely give you more positivity around work. So if you want that promotion, if you want a new job, or something around your work has changed and shifted, and because of that, you love it more. So the value has shifted here. And when it goes direct, you are enjoying your life more because you enjoy your work more. The same with your health. You could have been exploring more around that, or doing some things that you love to do. Maybe it was dancing, or whatever it is that was good for your health. You kind of now love doing it. So that is also a very positive energy with Venus going direct there. And Mars sextile in your 8th house. Whew, that's quite behind the scenes. So behind the scenes, there could be even a romance starting at work. It could be a bit behind the scenes there, because Mars is in the 8th house, and that it's in a Venusian sign of Libra. So there could be exploring something there, whatever it is. I don't see this causing you a problem. On the contrary, because you've got this Mercury direct in your 7th house of relationships. So when it comes to relationships, Mars in the 8th house is about intimacy. So it's and people think, oh, intimacy, that's sex. Well, it's a part of it, and sex can help to be more intimate, absolutely. But it's more than that. It's showing your vulnerabilities. It's showing your soul, basically. So you could be doing that with someone. You could be doing that, dear Pisceans, with someone. And it's a lovely feeling, because you open up yourself for someone, and when they do that as well, that is what we call intimacy. That is what we call someone sees us and we see them, and it's one of the most beautiful things in life, right? When we do that with caution, so when we don't open up for everyone, and when we do that with understanding. And this Mercury in the 7th house, especially after the 16th, it's like new connections can come up, and it's a connection that is already known here. Why am I saying this? Because it's a Mercury is the ruler of your 7th house, and it goes back into that 7th house going direct. So this is a relationship that is already known, that can shift gears. So there could be, if you already are connected with someone, there could be a bit more. Consider this, what I said with the intimacy, it could go on up a level. There's a lot of stability, especially when you had like fears, the 8th house where Mars is now. You could have had fears of having a bit of a wall because of some reasons, right? And now that wall can go down, but with support and with stability, because of this beautiful Earth trine. So you feel secure with someone else, and that hasn't been the truth for you for a long time here because of this Mercury retrograde. On a social level, it's fantastic energy. It is for you Pisceans time to blossom, to go out there, to have fun with friends. This Pluto in your 11th house being activated by this Mercury in your 7th house and with Uranus in the 3rd house. Go out, go with friends and have a ball, and you will feel very supported, grounded. Again, this is in earthly earthly signs, and earth and water goes very well together. The earth understands those deep depths of the water, and the depths of the water is kind of feeding in a very positive way and giving it energy. Lovely month for you, September. Make the most out of it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.